especially with the rest of the team having those CC ultimates to set up for the equalizer. The Ivan banned in the first 3 bans in the LPL. I never thought I'd see it, but it means that Tian grabs himself a Lilia instead.
And I don't know if we need many recollections to know what Tian does on this Lilia. So I need to see an answer from FPX. I need to see an answer from MilkyWay, because Tian has literally run teams into the ground because of his Lilia gameplay.
Certainly has. It's terrifying. And to be honest, it's a fairly short-range answer from Creme and from ZDZ. Tian, as the Lilia, would love to be up against the composition that wants to be up close and personal. JackeyLove gets himself that misfortune once again. I mean, this feels fine for top Esports, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Power picks across the board.
And big thing also is the passive damage from the combo from JackeyLove will not wake you from your sleep there, so you have to think about what combos that belies. But you also have all that damage coming in now with the poke from Creme on the Corki. The Lucian, still very strong. I need to see a jungler pair up with this, and I need it to come in now, because you don't want top Esports to continue to focus down your pool. But maybe that's just not going to be the case. They want things to follow up. They want things to go in afterwards, those immediate engages, and the Kai'Sa comes through.
Kai'Sa locked in there for FPX. For Deokdam. It's definitely a potent carry. It's definitely a pick that can take over a game. And Deokdam himself, 4 games this split, won all 4 of them on this Kai'Sa. Maybe that is the ticket to victory for FPX. Deokdam stepping up once more. Jin, you know, I don't think his performance individually was particularly lackluster, aside from maybe far, but look at that instant ban from top Esports. The split second Braum was gone.
You know it.
Immediately removed.
And that's why you're wondering why you didn't grab something early for FPX. But as we say, you know, it is a little bit about trying to get Deokdam back into a state of prominence, because both of these guys were blunted in that game number 1. Both of them having more facilitation style picks in the Jin and Sejuani. It is the bread, and this is what we expect from top Esports. You wait until the final phase, you're going to get those bans levied your way. It is the Nautilus right now for FPX to give them some forward engage, though.
It's an incredibly strong lane, isn't it? The Kai'Sa Nautilus. It's a classic combo. If you can find that hook, you can 100 to 0 people pretty damn quick. The rail comes through. Is that a top lane on? It's been a little while. In fact, one of the only other players to play top lane on in the LPL has been ZDZ. But 369's got a game on it this split as well, and he will lock the top lane on once again, scaling for days for top Esports as well as hard engage.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see their flexibility with that pick, as well as the Meiko picks for the Orin have been very prominent at the Rumble stage. But here we go. It's another one of MilkyWay's prominent picks that we actually saw creep up a little bit for him, and it's all about the big combos for him.
Certainly is. The Diana. This is kind of a MilkyWay special, really. We don't see much Diana here in the LPL. MilkyWay, a player, though, that over the last 12, I guess slightly less than 12 months, we've seen his Diana a couple of times, and it has, you know, not always found the win necessarily, but he's had some pretty big ultimates. He's had some pretty big moments. We'll see if it can happen again today. We'll see if he can find those targets, though, because once again, top Esports, they're a team that's quite happy to spread out, that's willing to play these fanned out team fights that make it really difficult to find a big move for.
Yeah, the thing I struggle with is the ease of execution for top Esports. Just feels like it's so far and above FPX's. Hey, yes, you can talk about comfort for FPX all day long, but it is going to require them to execute this and to find the synergies within the team composition, where we know what the pieces of top Esports do. They have such strong strength. They have such good setup around JackeyLove, who's already having a wonderful game number 1. This is all eyes on FPX to make something happen and not just be another step in the road for top Esports in 2-0.
Top Esports have won 9 games in a row. This one would be double digits for them if they could finish this series out in style and continue to contend for a top spot here in the LPL. See if they can make it happen.
And a little bit more gumption behind the calls. But I do want to go back to that story of top esports because something we've highlighted a decent amount. And it's not only that dominance, but it's the fact that literally yesterday they were in one of the bottom places, at least in the qualified teams to playoffs in Group Ascend. And they've made some huge leaps and bounds and playing back-to-back games using some of that momentum in their own right. So see if they can continue to do that. They will be looking for a bit of a late invade against MilkyWay here. Not spotted out, I don't believe. Okay, 369 will be. He's chunky.
He was spotted out and drops a ward onto the Raptors. I want to talk a little bit about FPX and where they are in the standings. You know, what this all means to them. Because we talked a lot about the win streak for top esports and how important each game and each series is for them. But for FPX, they're down in 6th place right now. They're 3-2 on the standings. But they're still within touching distance, right? Because in 3rd place is top esports. They're only 1 win ahead. There's a bit more game difference there, but realistically, if FPX could turn this series around and win this series, I mean, they've still got a pretty tough schedule ahead of them. They still have to face up against Weibo next, and then BLG would be their final opponent. But BLG looking weak, and Weibo, you know, a team that you never quite know what's going to show up on the day. So I do feel like if FPX could show up today and give a real challenge to top esports, they could be setting themselves up into a position where maybe they can have one final surge towards playoffs and get themselves a bit of a better seeding to work with.
It's always about seeing the rebirth of the Phoenix, and they really have had a rebirth here in this Rumble stage. We talked a little bit about their journey so far, but themselves being on a 3-win streak there. Love to see a little bit of a shout out to the mid lane matchup that I feel like rules our world now in the Lucian versus Corki matchup at mid lane. It's a lot of games played. Lucian edging out just barely, but now I do also think that since we've gotten a little bit of the clear under themselves, both junglers going to be culminating on this bot side, and we get some fireworks there.
Tian will definitely have a clear speed advantage there, but I think it's not by a lot. I know Diana pretty famous for how fast she can get through those camps. Tian a bit slower on the single target camps, whereas MilkyWay will be slightly slower on the AoE, but realistically, with the passive, Diana's pretty damn quick. What comes through in the bottom side from Life, but just going to be answered with a few autos from JackeyLove.
You have to be careful about how much damage you can do with the double up.
Oh, the bait!
Oh,
the bait
Meiko
comes through from Life, and Meiko falls right for it. MilkyWay skips a camp to be a part of the play. First blood, but now answered. Tian responds to the play from MilkyWay, and he's looking for 2 as Life is forced to flash.
He tried to predict the move from Life, but Life ends up using another exit strategy there on the other side of the wall. Really, really good capitalization, but it ends up being a 1-for-1. Big importance, though, is that one for top esports goes the way of JackeyLove, of course.
I said he skipped a camp, he didn't. He's just that fast at clearing the jungle on the Diana. It will be Crab for Tian. Let's take another look. As Meiko just not thinking Diana will be here just yet.
That's actually so big. And Meiko forced flash, but you immediately have the follow from MilkyWay. I think Tian with the 4 legs runs over here really nicely. There was still some more left on the table. And again, he tries to predict Life here, but Life finds a way, I guess, has been the nomenclature so far. And you have to look if we're going to continue seeing it.
Dive onto Deokdam in the bottom side. JackeyLove already got first blood, and he gets a second as well. Flashes just before the turret shot comes through. They can redive this. So long as Meiko's tanking, they can go for another one.
Oh my God.
Meiko gets the kill. They are off to the races again.
I mean, can we just call it now, like best bot lane in LPL? They have been doing this time and time again against all the bot lanes in the LPL, especially in this Rumble stage where all of our top teams are here in Group Ascend. Now, Care, he's looking at it.
Oh, Creme did this to him in game number 1. Creme by the Wolf as Care is going to go down to Tian. Oh, no! It was so close. Single digits between Care and a solo kill.
Oh, you can't have this stuff happening against top esports. You've given them an almost 1,200 gold lead at 5 minutes in. You've been playing into their hands this entire time. At FPX, they don't seem like they have the resources to pull out. They are looking at this bot side now, but the damage is already done. Tian is going to be clearing like a monster, and it all started off this masterful play on bot side by Meiko and JackeyLove. They actually find a way to get out of dodge with it, and JackeyLove just showing his expertise here.
Beautiful stuff. Meiko even grabbing a kill for himself, and Deokdam's caught again. Oh god, bad to Wiz in the bottom side. It just won't stop. It just won't end.
You highlighted the Kai'Sa. You said maybe the comfort is key. That key is broken in half, and it doesn't even fit the lock right now. Munchables' life is all by his lonesome in the bot side. He's trying to find a way out.
I don't know if he can, though. Pulled back in. One more Q will finish the job. Tian grabbing that kill. Care, another attempt in the mid lane onto Creme. No flash available. If Creme steps up, maybe there's an angle. Care, you can see that he feels the pressure with how this bot lane is going. He's trying to make things happen elsewhere on the map.
20 CS up for JackeyLove at 3-0. He's going to be on first side. He's on a ward right now, so they know he's there. Yeah, this is so bad. They have the bullet time. They can pull that combo off here.
Tian is still waiting in the wings as well.
He wants the lilting lullaby.
Check. There's the stun. Anchor does get life out to safety. I mean, I was going to say well played, but like, there's a certain extent to which playing well at this point is not going to matter. Top Esports are so good at using these advantages. Tian happy to camp for his bot lane to get JackeyLove even further ahead. He's on double the CS of Deokdam at 7 minutes.
And it's not even like they turned back for the dragon or anything like that. They did end up stealing that Gromp away, but it leaves a lot of question marks for MilkyWay to try to find something useful. Meanwhile, we are seeing him move over into Tian's jungle, but it really is a factor that Tian has just been consistently able to play around this bot lane of his all series long.
MilkyWay going for a bit of an invade here. It looks like he wants to go towards that mid lane, but Creme playing towards his own jungler on the top side of mid. He'll be safe with the Valkyrie up as well. It's always difficult to get a gank onto a Corki. As Deokdam finally gets one minion wave totally unhindered. He doesn't know what that feels like. It's been a long time since he was able to just hit the wave.
He's gonna hit level 6 eventually, I promise. It is just speaking to the strength that JackeyLove has been able to present, not only on this misfortune. I'm feeling like obviously it's been 2 incredible games now.
Tian's here. Dominus in play. Tian, okay, won't commit. As MilkyWay is actually here as well. Maybe Tian has to commit whether he likes it or not. Trying to get the movement speed.
He's getting the double lilting.
Has a double sleep for himself. Maybe some follow-up, but not sure that's a fight they actually want. Just gets the double Q and walks away. Or hops away, I suppose.
He'll take that a little bit at least. Being able to trade down with some of the health burn there. But just trying to stop any of the advances of FPX. And that is exactly what Tian can do now. And you'll see him do with the speed of clear that he has. Yes, it's a bit matched by MilkyWay, but he'll be able to have a lot of the answers if FPX and MilkyWay want to be aggressive. And as this Diana, you want to be getting a bit of an advantage for yourself so you can feel confident to get those engages off and have the big combos follow through.
DDZ continuing to try and pressure in that top side as
Care, I think you lose that now.
Railing Care. Now a bullet time just annihilates Deokdam. Life has to walk forwards to try and survive. That's more than half of both their HPs. As Deokdam takes another double up. Oh god. This might be another dive. This might be Meiko going underneath the tower. Tian is here as well as the stun comes through. Deokdam one also away. JackeyLove tanking. Can he get out of range of the tower? He can. And life burning. And there's a make it rain as the dot from Tian finishes the job. It's just a masterclass at the bottom side.
Oh, they did end up getting a trade on top side. It is something for FPX, but in all reality, what did it cost? And it's literally everything. At almost 4,000 gold, you're going to be chunked down just a little bit with that tower taken out here, but Top Esports have dominated. It's been all bot lane, this 2v2. JackeyLove didn't take a single turret shot before all this damage went down. It's insanity.
Playing so well until goes in and finishes the job line with a decent hook, but he's not even level 6 yet. Like, what can he do? What can he do? In the meantime, though, MilkyWay gets the ult. Good CC chain. Pretty nice for MilkyWay to get a little bit of gold on that top side. But, I mean, he's still behind because Tian's got so many kills on the bottom side. 1,000 gold lead for ZDZ on the Renekton. I don't know if that's enough. It's going to have to be for FPX as he wants to use it immediately. Jumps straight on towards Tian. Wants the shutdown. Won't find it.
Does end up getting the flash, though. That's big, so there's not going to be any flash plays to get the lilting lullaby. And this is looking like a potential Grub-ageddon here.
I don't know, though. I think FPX have to back away. JackeyLove is so terrifying. He just walks in and taps the grub, steals it away from ZDZ. That's 2 grubs.
Papa's here.
Both for JackeyLove as well. A couple of extra CS in case Deokdam wasn't behind enough.
It is first item spikes that are going to be used pretty well by both sides, but also just that strength now being levied across the map by JackeyLove. He will still be close to that second item, not going to be there just yet. We are also 11.5 minutes in. Top Esports, a team that's been known to really push the tempo on objectives, hasn't felt the need to just yet on the Dragon. They want kills. They want to go for the throat here, Munch.
Oh, the combo is beautiful to witness. The Ornhorn setting up for the bullet time. JackeyLove gets, I think, his 19th kill of the game so far, something like that. 9-2. And you were just talking about objectives. I guess Top Esports have found their window.
Guess they'll get it. First Dragon, 12 minutes into the game. No big deal here, but MilkyWay can be feeling the heat a little bit, and it's not from his own Phoenix. It's a 3-0-2 Tian. It's a 5-0-2 JackeyLove, and this is the state of game that Top Esports have found all their wins in. If they get an advantage, they do not let it go in most cases, and JackeyLove in this game, he might be looking at double MVPs at this point.
Phenomenal game from him. I've got to say, phenomenal game from Tian as well, though, to answer the early play from MilkyWay. MilkyWay tried to shut down the bot lane of Top Esports early. Tian was there to answer, and then setting up for these dives out from JackeyLove and Meiko. Half of the dives he wasn't even a part of, but it was at least in the area shadowing to make sure that MilkyWay was definitely not a part of them either, giving his bot lane that freedom to take over.
And take over, they absolutely did. It is still trying to figure out how to close this one out cleanly. They were able to take that bot outer. Turret place will be falling in about a minute. They have moved JackeyLove to mid lane, try to maybe squeak out a little bit more of that here. But the big tempo play is going to be coming up now that we have that Rift Herald coming down. That could lend out to multiple turrets going down if Top Esports want to press their advantage there. But we're looking bot side right now. MilkyWay is trying to revisit 369.
369 clears the wave. I mean, he's pretty tanky at this point. Has 2 armor items and a Balmy Cinder, and that might just be an upgraded Sunfire Cape there as he builds it on through. Sunfire Aegis picked up. 369 can just walk towards the wave, or can he? A TP comes through from ZDZ with a Dominus in tow as well. That should be another kill on 369. Forced onto the weak side and will die twice for it. Creme trying to trade in the top lane. That should be a lot of gold for FPX.
They do get some fight back here. They're still at a huge deficit. But MilkyWay, that's multiple times he's turned to the 369 well and been able to come up big. They do get a little bit of something, but going to lose a lot of gold on the back end. They're losing a top outer and a mid outer because of that. So every play has a bit of a cost. They are going to get the bot lane on the end of it, and K are going to push this wave in too.
Herald as well for Tian. All in trade for a kill and a tier 1 on the bottom side. I think MilkyWay managed to steal away a red buff as well. So a little bonus there for FPX, but realistically, a very positive play for Top Esports, even with 369 going down. 369, very happy to play weak side. This ain't his first time on the job, you know. This guy has played weak side many a time for Top Esports. And he's very happy to do so again, especially on a champion like Ornn. You really don't mind if you're behind in gold. So long as you're getting that XP, so long as you get your passive going, he's still going to be fine when we get into the mid game.
And that's all you really can hope for in a lot of cases. I think in this regard, I do want to get a check-in on kind of the machinations of FPX, because in that game 1, it definitely didn't feel like the same FPX that has been finding these slink out wins for themselves. This definitely feels like more of a home-cooked draft for them. but it hasn't been the execution that maybe is up to par to it.
And I feel like the Diana is like, oh, hang on, he's found Creme. He's found Creme. The Diana is the pick, apparently.
Oh, he missed.
That's enough. Creme is unstoppable. Gets the fleet footwork. ZDZ flashes to finish the job, but even in a 1v1, Creme finds the kill.
And Creme even missed a rocket barrage of that as well. So adding insult to injury, still able to get the kill out there. Does give ZDZ a little bit more gold, but Top Esports, as we know them to do, you cannot get something on the other side of the map without them responding, and they are crashing down in bot lane.
Even a bullet time in the mid lane to stop Deokdam just pushing the wave. That's a tier 2 taken.
He's going mid.
Oh, the charge. Wait, he's going to bounce out the wrong side of the tower here. Tian is pretty deep.
He's got
the comes through. He's just the right amount of deep after all. Top Esports, no signs of stopping as they look for life as well. Who cares if it's a tier 2 tower? Top Esports, it could be 16, it could be 46 minutes into the game. It's the same level of play.
I might not be a medical physician, but I might be calling time of death of FPX in this series at 1640. I mean, they are being ran around by Top Esports, and it has been a consistency in this series, a consistency from Top Esports. We brought in a little bit of the storyline for FPX, but Top Esports continue to force our focus to them in this Rumble stage.
Tian's charging straight towards MilkyWay. I think he went past that blue ward. I think he was spotted. Meiko's hunting for him. MilkyWay has to flash. Will get out with his life. He got a gromp. It's not much, but it's, I guess, a small win. Is that worth the flash? I don't know, but...
Participation trophy.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get anything, can you? You literally can't even get a gromp. You can't even get a single camp steal. And here in the 1v1...
He actually gets a decent amount of damage. You see right here, I think he does miss one of the... no, he actually didn't end up doing it. So I was thinking that actually MilkyWay had an advantage in that situation, but the damage profile with that Trinity Force is just so massive for the Corki. It's so unexpected a lot of the time. And Top Esports taking full advantage of that. That is a second dragon as well for them bot side, and they'll continue pushing it.
Great last second flash there from Creme as well to dodge that final bit of damage and give him space to blast a big one the way of MilkyWay. ZDZ cleans it up after the fact, but the damage was already done. It's a 6,000 gold lead, 18 minutes. Top Esports, I think maybe upset with how close the first game was. Wanting to prove to everyone that this win streak ain't ending anytime soon.
We're going to have to reevaluate our versions of close here if we're talking about Top Esports, because it doesn't feel like anybody's been able to be close to them here in recency. But you also have to remember, like, they did lose to a couple of the top teams, but at the beginning of their journey in the Rumble stage. So been a long cry since then. And Creme, JackeyLove, 2 items completed. Tian, I'm sure, going to be close to his as well. We're getting resets back out on the map. There's no objectives, but Top Esports are going to put in the pain on FPX.
And I don't want to, I don't want to be that guy. But I will say the 2 losses that Top Esports have were both in week 2, just when they were back from their trips abroad, potentially a bit jet lagged. Does feel like they are fully back. Oh no, CC's on cooldown for ZDZ.
Thumbs up as he goes.
369's like, yeah, see you later, mate. I'm out of here.
And they can now just put presence around the top. So, okay, he's getting back. I thought they might keep presence around here since there is a Baron coming up in about 30 seconds. But JackeyLove, ooh, gets the ulti out of MilkyWay.
It costs him his flash. And MilkyWay does manage to steal away that red buff. So, again, these small advantages FPX are able to find occasionally. They're what's keeping them in the game, but, I mean, they are very small compared to the 6,000 gold advantages that Top Esports seem to keep finding. Tian very close to finishing his 2nd item. JackeyLove very close to finishing his 3rd item. Creme not too far away from finishing, stacking that Muramana as well. I mean, it all just feels so futile for FPX, for want of a better word.
You do wonder if there is any entrance there, and it still hasn't been the big combos. Because in all actuality, like MilkyWay has a big wombo combo. You're not going to have necessarily things to follow up on that. You're going to have some good single target damage, though, and I think that's where you really have to rely on for FPX if they are going to find an end to this fight. But the problem is you're not even on 2 items for either of your carries yet for Creme and Deokdam. You just don't have the damage to put up against this would-be Titan.
369 even gets all of the small crooks.
Oh.
It's a 4-man moonfall, but doesn't even get the damage phase out. And with MilkyWay down, surely a green light for Top Esports to kick off the purple worm.
I will say this is a bit lackluster for what maybe I expected FPX is. Yeah, it really is. I think coming into this one, this was an opportunity to really upset some of the balance in the Rumble stage and some of the seeding potential for the playoffs, but Top Esports didn't want any of that. And they're looking at clean victories all along.
And to be fair to FPX, like, JackeyLove's just blasting out cooldown at anyone that's on his stream.
Strutting his stuff.
Like, to be fair to FPX, Top Esports are maybe the best team in the league right now. I guess we'll have to wait and see for playoffs for that one, because LNG beat them. LNG at the top of the standings, but I personally am not a big believer in that right now. But that's a whole
been a while
conversation.
since that matchup.
Like, we could talk about all day that FPX should look for a win here. It's easier said than done, isn't it, when you're up against a team of this caliber?
I mean, we were talking about Creme having conversation being one of the best mids, JackeyLove, Meiko being one of the best bots, and like you just have so much to play through in Tian. Having a Wonder-Star split, I think this guy has been so lethal in the jungle. He's been so flexible in what he's been willing to play. And then when you end up giving him his power picks, like right now, the Lilia is Super Saiyan mode for him in the last 3 games that he's been able to play this pick. It's been really nice to see a step up holistically from Top Esports, and the sky's the limit at this point, but you see how much they can just kind of stranglehold the map in a lot of cases, because this isn't like a one-off situation for Top Esports. This has been like almost every game they've played.
Yeah. It has been a little bit back to their old mantra of win lane, win game, to be honest. Felt like that went away for a little while. It's back in full force. Top Esports are in immaculate form and looking towards a 10th win in a row if they can finish this game out. MilkyWay doesn't want to let that happen. Does have Flash, does have Moonfall. Top Esports have to be cautious not to overstep here. TP from CDZ behind with the Dominus. But that's MilkyWay put to sleep and finished off.
Oh.
The fight's already over before ZDZ even gets close.
ZDZ.
Here comes Deokdam to try and finish the job, but 369 sends him into the sky, and ZDZ can't even find Creme. Not one iota for FPX. Top Esports are dominant here in the LPL.
Oh man, you see the interest from Deokdam, he immediately gets taken down. You see the hopes of this series in any regard for FPX being dashed completely, and Top Esports, they have been a huge force to be reckoned with here in the LPL Rumble stage.
To rise from the ashes, you're first got to be set on fire, and Top Esports have done exactly that today. 2-0 as Tian flashes his FPX World Champion flair as well. Lets him know that he's been there, and now he's somewhere better.
He's been there, he's done that, he got your star, and he's looking for another. And I think in reality, like, you have all the extra things going behind it, Top Esports, all the history behind a lot of the players, some of the growth development we talked about for Creme, the legendary factor of 4 out of 5 of these players. But it also is the results speaking for themselves. You don't go 10-0 in games in the LPL lightly. Like we've seen these last couple days, the underdog teams, the teams that have had 0 wins, are taking wins off of some of our best teams. And to be able to have such a clean streak like this definitely speaks high and above of what Top Esports can achieve.
It's phenomenal to witness, and it's an incredible little streak to finish out the split. Look at
him. He's enjoying himself, man. He's drawing stuff for us.